whilst we were in Djibouti, we went on a tour of the island, which was really cool. It was run by the university students. They have to do a tourism unit, and so they're very eager to practice their skills. So we went to this lovely place for lunch, and then we took a boat trip down the estuary. So the little restaurant is just stunning. As you can see here, it's on the peninsula, and it was amazing. We had a very traditional lunch with fried fish and pawpaw flowers and pawpaw leaves, which were like a sort of spinach dish, and a hot sambal. And they cooked all of this over an open fire in this rather rustic kitchen. So that was interesting to see. And then after lunch, we all clambered into funny looking boats and took a trip down the estuary. We stopped off at a very, very ancient fish farm. Everything had been made out of coral because this little island was completely made of coral. And then we got back in our little boats and carried on down the estuary. Yeah, it was really cool. Here's a sandwich chair. For those of you who've been watching us for a long time, you know what a sandwich chair is.
I love that one there with the outrigger.
People here believe that their ancestors originally came from Bali and arrived on these stone ships. One of the projects for the university students was to come up with ideas for recycling materials, and they created these lovely planters.
Right, we're on our way again. So Wendy's just gone down below to grab a couple of departure beers.
Yeah.
So it feels nice to be out of the bay, back on the water. We're not going to go far today, we're just going to go around the corner here a bit. We heard there's a really nice beach, so we're going to go and try and get in there. We've got to go over a reef to get in there, but apparently there's about 10 foot, 3 metres of depth at low tide. So it's spot on low tide now, so we'll see how accurate the measurements were.
Where do we go from here? We could go anywhere. Where do we go from here? We could go anywhere.
We found this lovely anchorage yesterday with a beautiful beach. Went for a walk and found a little restaurant and had a meal. And today we are heading off. We're going to do about 50 miles to another island and go and check that out. It's really cool.
Where do we go from here? We could go anywhere. Life has its ups and downs, twists and turns.
We've just arrived at a little island about 50 miles away from where we started this morning. We were going to stop, then we weren't going to stop, and then we did stop, so I'm glad we stopped. And then tomorrow we've got about 130 miles to go to the next place. There's a little village here. So here's the thing. The kids come up to the boat and they just hop on board. So we've got 3 kids on the boat at the moment.
Alright, left. I can't remember the name of the little beach we were at. We left there yesterday, and we left Debut, our arrival point in Indonesia, day before yesterday. And last night we just spent on the lee of this island. I can't remember its name either. It's the westernmost island of the Kai Islands. And now we've got 130-mile stretch of open ocean in the Banda Sea on our way to the Banda Islands, which has a great history as the first place that nutmeg was found by I think it was the Portuguese that got there first, or maybe the Dutch. I know they had a bit of a hoo-ha, and then England wanted it, and the Dutch swapped Staten Island or Long Island or a piece of Manhattan. They swapped Manhattan for Banda Island. Well, that's the story. Well, it sounds good. There's not much wind this morning, about 8 knots, so we're just motoring for an hour just to get away from the lee of the island and hopefully into some wind. It's very rolly, like very, very rolly. These short little, short, sharp seas on the port after quarter make it very rolly. Otherwise, all's well on board. We had a good night's sleep. We met a couple of the locals yesterday when we arrived. They hopped in their dugout canoes and came over and said g'day, and 3 lovely boys. Gave them a few little trinkets to remember us by. I think one got a hat and one got a water bottle, and what did the other fella get?
Pen.
Oh, pen. Ballpoint pen. A nice one. So that's about all I've got to report. There's one other boat behind us. We've seen a couple of fishing boats this morning. Nearly ran over a buoy. So many little market buoys out here, and we're in 3,000 metres of water. So they've either got a long anchor chain on the buoys, or they're just floating. Yeah, that's it. See you later. Wendy tells me after she's finished videoing, you've got sunscreen all over your face, by the way. So yeah, thanks, Wen.
You still have to.
Do I?
Up on your eyebrow. There you go.
There we go. All gone. All rubbed in. See you guys.
It's rolling.
Kata masih ada apa? Kita pasar berapa? Berapa kilo?
All different rices.
Yeah.
Oh, nutmeg.
Where? Oh, you know.
Yeah, no. It's got to be nutmeg, hasn't it?
Hello.
Cinnamon. Look at the size of the cinnamon.
You know what it's time for?
Time for you to talk about beer.
Time for a beer review. I haven't done a beer review for ages. Now, it's not a true beer review because I have had this before, many a time. It's called Bintang. It's a Pilsner. It's one of those beers that should be served ice cold because it's in a muggy, warm place. It looks like beer. It's never kept a good head. It's a quick pouring beer, so you don't have to worry about it foaming over. But let's give it a crack. You know when I think I've said it before, but you associate beer and places. Well, I associate Theakston's Old Peculiar with trudging through the Yorkshire moors all day, and then you're tired, you got a backpack on, and you arrive at a pub late in the afternoon, get inside, you stand in front of the fire, and you have a Theakston's Old Peculiar with just the smell of this. Takes you straight back to Bali. It's amazing how this sense of smell just takes you straight back. So let's see if the taste takes me back as well. You don't have to worry about foam on my moustache because there isn't much for this beer, but it's beautiful. It's a production beer. It's nothing special. It's just beer flavoured water, really, to be honest. But it just takes you to faraway places, and that's what's special about this beer is the memories associated with it. So here's the Bintang, Indonesia, and the little place we're in called Banda. It's a fantastic little place. We'll give you a look around over the next episode or two, because I think we might spend a few days to a week or so here. So here's to Indonesia and Bintang. Cheers. I forgot to give it a review, an actual score. So on the beer flavoured water scale, it's right up there. On the complexity scale, it's right down. But on the associated memory scale, it's 10. Straight up a 10 beer on the associated memory scale. We should bring that scale in more often for all the beers that we've drunk before. Cheers.
Got nasi
goreng.
goreng special, and I got mee goreng special. He's disappeared a minute ago. I found him in the lazarette, his favourite spot on the boat.
Yep.
So we had a few sagas, didn't we, Dal?
Mm-hmm.
More than a few, actually. I'll let Magnus tell you the stories. He's a better storyteller than me.
Yeah.
So he's down the lazarette trying to fix the...
Just the autopilot. My nemesis.
Do you want to say what happened, or you want to get the job done?
I just wanted to really get the job done.
Okay.
But what's happened is this beautiful Dyneema that I made up with a new chain. The Dyneema jumped off the quadrant, went loose, then the chain jumped off. This is all while we were taking evasive action to get it go around a fishing boat that decided to drop its net in front of us. So, and then come reversing in here, it all got tangled up and I lost steering going in reverse between two boats. And we got in, didn't hit anything, all good.
So you're trying to sort out the mess?
I'm just trying to get the chain back on the sprocket.
Okay.
Which is always a job where I've got to climb halfway in here and lean my ribs against this wood.
And what happened last time you did that, Del? Which you kept very quiet.
I broke a rib.
Yeah, he keeps things very quiet, this man.
It's still a bit painful, but you get that.
Do you want more cushions? Do you want a pillow? I've got a pillow.
No, I've got my pillow here.
No, a pillow, like a soft
Yeah.
one. Yeah, okay. Oh, wow, it must hurt if you said yes to that. Oh, he's disappearing in there. Sorry for laughing, but you should see it from this side. You got it?
Yeah.
So it's back on?
Oh no, the chain's back on.
Oh, well done.
No, just gonna get the rest of it back on.
Okay. So that's job one of the millions. Tick. This is our anchorage. I suppose it's an anchorage. We're med mooring in Banda on the wall right next to the Nutmeg Cafe. And last night we went into shore. We managed to get Peanut across this tangled spider's web up to that little jetty, and then we walked along there and through that building. It's very odd. And into town, yeah. Look how clear it is.
So what I've just done, this chain here jumped off the quadrant, and then jumped off that. Can't really see it, but there's a gear up there, and so I've had to put it back on because this Dyneema is new. It's stretched a bit, so I've had to just tension it up on the turnbuckle. Yeah, job done.
What are you doing now, Dom?
Just checking and see the autopilot still works. And the wheel should turn.
Yay! Success.